The intersection of rap and gang culture has deep roots in hip-hop history. Many of today's most prominent rappers have ties to the streets, either through affiliation, upbringing, or survival. These artists turn their pain into music, and their stories are as raw as the lyrics they write. Gang affiliation in rap isn't just about image. For many, it was about survival, protection, and community in environments shaped by poverty, violence, and systemic neglect. Through their music, these rappers paint vivid portraits of the streets, giving a voice to the voiceless, and carrying on traditions passed down by hip-hop legends before them. Starting with Blueface, the Los Angeles native rose to fame with his offbeat flow and viral personality. Born Jonathan Porter, he grew up in the mid-city area of LA and later moved to the San Fernando Valley. He attended multiple high schools and even played football before shifting his focus to rap. Blueface is widely known for his affiliation with the schoolyard Crips, a connection that often surfaces in his lyrics, interviews, and social media presence. His unique cadence and bold delivery made him stand out in the oversaturated LA rap scene. Inspired by artists like Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent, Blueface began freestyling in his car before seriously pursuing music. His breakout track, Thotiana, went viral in 2018, aided by his unconventional flow and an eye-catching music video. The track received a major remix, featuring Cardi B and YG, boosting its commercial success. He later signed with Cash Money West, a division of Birdman's Cash Money Records, securing his spot in the mainstream rap world. Blueface has remained a polarizing figure, balancing mainstream fame with his street-rooted image. Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, hails from Atlanta, Georgia, specifically the Jonesboro South housing projects. He was raised in a large family with 10 siblings and experienced a rough upbringing marked by crime and poverty. Known for his eccentric style, gender-bending fashion, and high-pitched delivery, Thug stands out not only musically but culturally. His affiliation with the Bloods, particularly the YSL group, has come under intense legal scrutiny in recent years, with prosecutors labeling YSL a criminal gang involved in violent activity throughout Atlanta. Despite these legal challenges, Thug has always cited music as his true escape. He was heavily influenced by Lil Wayne, often mimicking his style early in his career and later carving his own lane. Thug first gained national attention with Stoner and his 2014 project Barter 6, a controversial tribute to Wayne's The Carter series. He later signed with 300 Entertainment under Liar Cohen, which gave him creative freedom while maintaining major label reach. Young Thug has since become a tastemaker in the industry, mentoring younger artists and helping launch careers through his YSL imprint. The Game, born Jason Taylor, is a Compton native and a former member of the Cedar Block Piru Bloods. Growing up in the gang-ridden neighborhood of Compton during the crack epidemic, Game was surrounded by violence and crime. His family was deeply entrenched in street life. His father was a known gang member, and his older brother introduced him to the Bloods. After surviving a life-threatening shooting in 2001, Game turned to rap while recovering in the hospital, studying classic hip-hop albums and writing lyrics that would define his voice. Heavily influenced by Tupac, Dr. Dre, and NWA, the Game brought back a raw, West Coast sound that resonated with fans craving authenticity. His debut album, The Documentary, was released in 2005 under Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment and featured hits like Hate It or Love It and How We Do with 50 Cent. Although tensions with G-Unit led to a fallout, Game continued to thrive as a solo artist, releasing multiple critically acclaimed albums. His gang affiliation remains a prominent part of his identity, and he often speaks about using rap to uplift his community and give others a way out. Lil Durk, from the south side of Chicago, represents the OTF Collective and is allegedly affiliated with the Black Disciples, a well-known Chicago gang. Born Durk Banks, he was raised in the Inglewood neighborhood, one of the city's most violent areas. His father was incarcerated when Durk was just a child, leaving his mother to raise him and his siblings alone. The constant threat of violence and loss became central themes in his life and his music. As a teen, Durk found himself in legal trouble and immersed in the streets, a reflection of the environment he was raised in. Despite the odds, Durk pursued music as a way out. Influenced by Chief Keef, Meek Mill, and French Montana, he began releasing music via social media platforms. His 2013 mixtape, Signed to the Streets, caught major attention, and his single, Dis Ain't What You Want, brought him into the spotlight. He initially signed with Def Jam, but eventually moved to Alamo Records, where he found greater success and creative control. Durk's music evolved into a blend of pain, melody, and drill energy, culminating in chart-topping albums and hits like Backdoor and Three-Headed Goat. Tekashi 6ix9ine, or Daniel Hernandez, is one of rap's most polarizing figures. Born in Bushwick, Brooklyn, he faced hardship early. His father was murdered when Tekashi was just 13. He dropped out of school in the 8th grade and began selling drugs to help support his family. Tekashi's rise in the rap game was fast and controversial, boosted by his loud appearance, shock value antics, and aggressive delivery. In a calculated move to bolster his street credibility, he aligned himself with the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, a decision that would ultimately lead to his arrest and highly publicized federal trial. Musically, Tekashi was influenced by gritty artists like DMX and Onyx. His 2017 breakout track, Gummo, was a viral success, characterized by its violent lyrics and booming beat. His affiliation with 9 Trey added authenticity for some fans, but it also attracted the attention of law enforcement. In 2018, he signed a deal with 10K Projects, releasing his debut album Dummy Boy, which featured Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, and others. His eventual cooperation with federal authorities resulted in a reduced sentence, but destroyed his street credibility, making him a controversial and divisive figure in hip-hop. Nipsey Hussle, born Ermias Ashdom, was a beloved figure in Los Angeles and beyond. Raised in the Crenshaw neighborhood, Nipsey was affiliated with the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips. But unlike many others, Nipsey used his gang background as a stepping stone for positive change. He was committed to economic empowerment, launching businesses, buying property, and investing back into his community. His upbringing was rough, but he always spoke of his desire to break cycles of poverty and violence through entrepreneurship, mentorship, and music. Nipsey began releasing mixtapes in the mid-2000s, with Bullets Ain't Got No Name and The Marathon earning him underground respect. Inspired by Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and Jay-Z, he crafted music filled with grit, motivation, and hustle. His critically acclaimed debut studio album, Victory Lap, was released in 2018 through his partnership with Atlantic Records and received a Grammy nomination. Tragically, he was gunned down in front of his Marathon clothing store in 2019, but his legacy lives on as a blueprint for independence, ownership, and community leadership in the hip-hop world. Quando Rondo, born Tician Bowman, is a Savannah, Georgia native who came up in the streets and found early fame in the late 2010s. His ties to the Rollin 60s, Crips, are well documented and frequently referenced in his music. Raised in a rough environment and cycling through juvenile detention centers, Quando turned to rap to avoid a fate he saw claim many of his peers. His background shaped his sound, gritty, melodic, and deeply autobiographical, often telling stories of pain, paranoia, and survival. Quando was influenced by artists like Chief Keef, Rich Homie Quan, and NBA Youngboy, who would later become a close collaborator and mentor. His breakout single I Remember, featuring YBN Namir, drew millions of views, and his mixtape Life B4 fame cemented his spot as a rising talent. He signed with Atlantic Records and never broke again, becoming part of Youngboy's label family. Quando's street ties became a national topic after the 2020 altercation that led to King Von's death, placing a heavy spotlight on his every move. Despite controversy, he continues to release music that speaks to life in the trenches.